Hi, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're watching me from. How was your day? Hope you went to church. How was service? And if you didn't go to church, why? Why didn't you go to church? So it's another time to learn. It's another time to get blessed. Okay. And I want to promise you that tonight you're going to be blessed. I mean, you're going to learn a lot because our guest is really, really prepared for us. So if you're online, I want you to just type something, um, show that you're here, just say something. Let me know that you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me. If you're online, please say something. All right. So I'm not going to take so much of our time. I want us to just go straight to the business of today. Oh, thank you, Bamidele. Thank you. It means you can hear me, you can see me. Okay, so I'll be waiting for others, but while we wait, I'll just go through the profile of our guest tonight. It's a bit lengthy, but I've tried to compress it, so that it doesn't look like we're intimidating you. Okay, so I'm just going to summarize it and then bring in our guest. Okay, Godwin Uwubamen is a personal discovery coach and mentor, human resource and project management professional, the president of Discover You International, and the founder of his treasure house, Abuja. He trained as a quantity surveyor and has a background in real estate consulting and management. He once pastored with Daystar Christian Center as a team head. He holds an MBA in human resource management, an associate member of Nigerian Institute of Management, and he is also a member of the Project Management Institute, USA, and a faculty member of Daystar Leadership Academy, where he lectures on project management, leadership delegation strategies, and team building dynamics. Godwin Uwubamen has facilitated leadership and management trainings for organizations in Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, Europe, United Kingdom, and the United States of America. He is a certified enterprise development trainer and a think tank member of the World Entrepreneurship Forum, Lyon, France, and also a certified DISC personality consultant with Impact Group USA. He is currently the senior pastor of his treasure house, Abuja, and also the best-selling author of Discover Your Assignment 1 and 2 and the P11 Code, powerful books. He's known for his practical approach to the Bible and has encouraged thousands to pursue productivity in their life and a personal relationship with God. He is married to Pastor Sheol Uwubamen, and they are blessed with a daughter. Please join me to welcome Pastor Godwin Uwubamen. Yee! Pastor, you can come in now. Yes.
Hello.
You're welcome. You're welcome, sir. So good to have you. Can everybody see him? Please, if you can see him, let me know. If you can see Pastor, please let me know. Can we all see him? We need to be sure everybody can see. Oh, Okay. Chiaka, can you see him? Can you see the guest?
Okay.
Family, can you see him? I just want us to be sure if we can all see him.
Wow. Can you hear me?
Can you reduce the volume of your phone?
Okay, is it echoing?
I think I can hear. Uh-huh.
All right.
I can still hear some background echo.
Echo? I put off
Yes.
the things that
Maybe your phone. Maybe we need to reduce the sound.
Can you hear me now?
But I can hear you clearly. I can hear you. So I think everybody can see you and hear you too. All right. So we'll just go and then we just start, the discussion. So Pastor, this money thing, I know that if we really start talking, it's going to take a lot of time. So I just want us to start, so fast so that we can, go through everything we plan to talk about. This money thing among believers, Pastor, is causing a lot of issues. In fact, big issues. And you would agree with me that, of course, by virtue of what you do, you know that most of the conflicts you have in marriages usually stem from this money matter. If you want to trace it, there must be something about money. So that's why I just want to ask you this question this evening. What is it? What is the right mindset for a believer when it comes to money? What is the right money mindset for a believer?
All right, Shokwe. Thank you very much. Firstly, let me appreciate you for having me in your program. Thank you very much. I appreciate you and what you do for couples and marriage very well. I appreciate most of you who have been around me and how you found yourself in ministry and how you are impacting your world in your little corner. And God bless you, Shopper. Thank you for giving.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity, sir.
I hope people can hear me. I hope because I have like 2 internet providers here. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Can everybody hear him? Please, can you say something in the comment section if you can hear him? We just want to be sure.
Yeah, they should please let me know.
Okay.
Clearly, right? Okay, good. I have like 3 internets working for me, so I'll be moving if there's any problem, So let me go straight to your question. Money mindset of the believer. I think that's where the real issue actually is. There should be a mindset for a believer, which will also translate into your marriage. Fundamentally, like coincidentally, that's the series I'm taking in church at present. It's called stewardship. The foundational force for a believer to get the money mindset right is that you must see yourself as a steward of God's resources. If you see yourself as a steward of God's resources, the chances are you will get it in every aspect, whether it's family, whether it's business, you will almost get it in every aspect. So the mindset for a believer should be stewardship. The mindset of a believer. Can you people see me? Can you still hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can hear you and we can see. Right. Yes.
The mindset of stewardship for money mindset for a believer is stewardship. When you have the mindset of stewardship, you most likely would walk the way God will want you to do your businesses. What do I mean by stewardship? Stewardship simply means who is a steward? A steward is someone who is entrusted with resources, whether it's financial, whether it's material, whether it's human, to be used on the behalf of the one who gave such instructions or stewardship for the betterment of humanity and for the enrichment of God's project on the surface of the earth. Now, when your mindset is about, I am holding this thing as a trust, because God trusts me with this, that's why He's given me. then you would have it easy when it comes to finances. Because the truth about it is that finances is not always there. Your business should be more like be accountable to the one who is your God. Be accountable to the one who you term to be your leader. Be accountable to the one who you term to be your father. So that at every point in time, if he gives you an instruction on how to use that money, you will be able to do so without any sense of grudge, any sense of, we'll get into a lot of things today. But the truth about it is that we must understand that the fundamental mindset of a believer is to have the mindset that I am a custodian. I am entrusted with these resources by God to use for God. That's the way I see it. These resources is God's own. He has given it to me to use for himself. I was asking them a question in church. And I asked them, I said, how many of you believe that it's God that blessed you? All of you will say it's God. Am I correct? People on the live session, how many of you believe that it is God that is? Those of you in the live session, I know everybody will say I am. I'm following them too. I'm trying to follow them. That's why. How many of you believe that it is God that gave you your money? How many of you believe that it's God? Every believer will say yes. And we will say that. So my point is that I asked them the question in this form: who is the source of your wealth? And everybody said, "Oh, it's God, it's God." I said, "You don't believe it's God. If you believe it's God, you would." So I said, "Let me test you guys." So I gave them an illustration. I said, peradventure, you come into my office as your pastor. I told you to come visit me because you needed assistance, and that assistance will cost you about ₦1 million, or let's say £1 million. So as you came into my office, and okay, £10,000. £1 million is confusing for those of you. Some of you see £1 million in Japan here.
As in, my head is already calculating.
So let's give you £10,000. And as you were leaving my office, you thanked me a lot. And as you were leaving the office, somebody else was waiting at the reception to see me. And as the person came in, the person started telling me his own story of what he's going through. And said his own problem is just about £1,000. So I now called the reception to call you back. Please come. That £10,000 that I gave you, or that £1 million that I gave, can you give me 100,000 from it, or £1,000? Shopper, I'm asking you a question. If you were that person, will you give me that money?
That's all. Let me use my church mind. I'll give you the money, but it's gonna be really, really difficult to release what you've given me. I've calculated, I've budgeted already, and then you're telling me to give her.
No, you are one of the only persons that is answering that way. Everybody said I will give you instantly, and the reason why you will give instantly, is because you know I am the source of that money.
Exactly.
That's why you will give it, because it's foolishness for you that I will call you back and say, please give me £1,000 out of that £10,000. I just gave it to you about 30 minutes ago. Give me back, and you will now say, oh, Pastor, please, there's too much problem I want to solve. It will be foolish. I will just tell them to lock the door and beat you and give me over my money. I mean, some people will even go ahead and say, Pastor, are you sure 1,000 will be enough? Can't I make it 1,500 so that this person would, that's because you know in your mind, I am the source. Yeah. I'm the one that gave you. Do you get my point? Bringing it back to God. Do you know that many of us who are Christians, a research has been carried out that only 16%, between 16% and 19% of Christians pay tithe. All this one that will make noise every day about tithe, only 16% to 20% of Christians pay their tithe. So what are the 80% doing? So there are 80 people in our church, out of the 100 people in our church, who do not pay tithe. They speak about it. Some of them are bold enough to speak against it. Some don't even say anything, but they just don't pay tithe. Why? This is the reason why many of them don't pay tithe. They don't believe that God is their source. If you believe that God is your source, when God tells you to give, it will be a no-brainer for you. I mean, this is so practical. It will be a no-brainer. Something tells you that you are the one that labored for this money. Something tells you that you are the one that architectured this money. Something tells you are the one that worked hard for this money. Something tells you that you are the owner of this money. You are not entrusted. So many Christians must understand this. That the truth is we deceive ourselves. We are just Christians from mouth. God don't really own us. God don't really own us. The truth is that it is always inconvenience. Well, that's why we give God. When it's convenient for us, we give it. When it's not convenient, we just leave it. So I want to challenge everybody here. Truly believe that God is your source. When God tells you from that money that I've given you, please give me percentage of it. I want to give it to an orphanage. I want to give it to a project in church. I want to give it to benevolence in church. You will be willing because you know if he's the one that provided you with the wisdom, the skills, the opportunities, the time and chance to get that thing, you know he will still give you another one. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So that's where we all miss it. We don't really believe that God is our source. We just say it. If you really believe that is your source, he would never, just like I said now, I would never ask you, Shopper, please give me 10,000 out of that 1 million. And you will now be arguing and saying, why would I? Because you know the one that gave you for crying out loud. So it was this revelation that eventually delivered me from greed, selfishness in the work of ministry, in the work of my family, and so on and so forth. If it is God that gave it to me, then he has the right to ask of it from me anytime, especially the statutory one, which is 10%. He can ask me anything. It doesn't even need to ask me. It's a deal for us. It's a deal for us. Praise God.
Hey, if God gave you, then he can add even to it. So even if God, requests for that one he has given you, he can still add more. He can decide to double it or triple it for you. So I think the right money mindset is to see money as a gift from God, not something I work for and then I must, amass it myself. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that powerful response. As a believer, that should be our mindset. Okay, so just last week when I was, writing something about the program, I made a post about how when I newly got married, one of the challenges we faced, as a couple very early in marriage was the issue of money. In fact, we chopped that breakfast very well. First year, second year, it was goes. And what really caused this was because I, for example, have a higher percentage of the sanguine personality. And Pastor, because you are a DISC personality consultant, you understand what I'm saying. My temperament is, or my personality is that we wants to enjoy, wants to battle, wants to spend, wants to use the latest, of everything. While my husband is almost 100% choleric. When they are focused on something, they are so religious about it. They take it, like that. And he was so bent at saving. In fact, he had a particular amount that he wanted us to save at the end of 1 year. He wanted, a particular amount at the end of 2 years. So as a DISC consultant, my question is, are there money personalities? And if there are, what should be the balance? I want to spend, the other wants to save. Should there be a balance? How do we resolve this among married people?
I think, of course, you've answered it already. There is money personalities. At least when you were talking, I was thinking, what's the meaning of money personalities? It's not about even money personalities. It's about life. We are different. The way we see things, the way we manage things are different. The minute married people understand that difference is the name of the game, then one of the first things you would need to tell yourself is that I am in this marriage to learn. I think those are foundational thoughts that those of us who do marriage counseling must bring. There is no marriage that is made from heaven. Every relationship that you enter into, whether business relationship, marital relationship, they are all supposed to be worked on earth. Albeit the most fundamental relationship is marriage. So we must let people understand that the reason why you are married is for learning. I've been trained for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years before I got married. My wife has been trained for the same time with people with different sets of knowledge skills, experience skills, background skills, and so on. Coming together, we must learn the principle of unlearning and relearning. Many people don't understand this. You must come to marriage with a mindset of, I don't know it all. Can I know you? Can I meet you? Can I understand what you also? So there is a place for give and take when it comes to marriage. And that's one of the things I feel we can now transpose into money. We can transpose it into money, because the truth is, it doesn't really make any difference. Your personality towards money, same personality you have towards productivity, same personality you have towards ministry, same personality you have towards everything. So let's talk about how two people who are like opposing people would have to engage themselves when it comes to money matters. Number one, understand that you are different. And difference does not mean enmity. It simply means we should learn from each other. That's what difference means. We should learn from each other. So, for example, the example you gave concerning your husband and your wife, your husband and yourself, is very clear. It is something that happens in almost every marriage. It's something that happens in every marriage. One person is very fast, the other is slow. One person is people-oriented, the other person is tax-oriented. I use this as my training tool. This is the fundamental way you know how people are subdivided. And for those of us who are listening right now, let me just give you a quick Dick's analysis on the way people are divided. Number one, we have people are divided into fast-paced and slow-paced. Some people are fast in everything they do, while some are slow in everything they do. It's not your fault. It is designed by God for us to be like that. So that's one of the ways you divide people. The second way you divide people is that some people are people-oriented, while some are tax or work-oriented. Don't blame yourself that way. It's going to affect a lot of things that you guys will do in life. It's going to affect a lot of things that you guys will do in life. So fundamentally, understand. And the way life was designed, we are meant to attract our opposites. I will use my wife as examples, and many of you already know who are like my church people. I don't even hide it. In that matrix that I just gave, I am fast. My wife is slow. Do you understand? In that matrix I gave, I am tax-oriented. My wife is people-oriented. That's it. So if you want to just oppose both, I am both fast-oriented and tax-oriented. So that makes me a strong driver or a choleric person. I'm both tax-oriented and I am also fast. While my wife is people-oriented and also slow in taking a decision. So that's the way it is. Now, if you look at those two paradigms, it's opposing to each other. So wisdom should tell anybody who comes into a relationship that I cannot understand where this woman is coming from. And the woman should also know, I cannot understand where this man is coming from, because by nature, we are completely opposite. In your case, I presume that's the same thing that's happening between you and Femi. One person is tax, one person is people. It's almost like that. It's not always, but it's mostly like that. So from that point, you already know the person, like someone who is tax-oriented is always a goal-getter, wanting to do things, wanting to get things. Yes. The person who is people-oriented wants to always stay with the now. They are feelers. They want to stay with the now because they are people-oriented. The person who is fast always wants to project his mind into the future. Everything is just about future. The person who is slow always is comfortable with the present, very uncertain about the future, and is more comfortable with the present. So when you know these differences, and if you go through the Dick's personality analysis, there is no good and bad temperament, there's no good and bad personalities. Yes, everybody has positives and someone has negatives. For example, I will give you what we call in before marriage, what we call patience. Patience is a good word. When we say, oh, Shokwe, you are so patient and calm, people like that word. And that's what we see before we got married. But in marriage, that same word, the action doesn't change, but it's now called slow and procrastination. It's now called slow and procrastination. When you call it slow and procrastination, it becomes negative. But when you call it patience and calmness, it was positive. But it's the same act. The only reason now is that one was done outside marriage, and it is only recognized as patience because you are not always with that person. You see the person in the morning, and you go away, so you call it patience. Yes, you see the person in the afternoon for lunch, 1 hour lunch, and you call it patience. But now you are living together, and you see that thing consistently, morning, afternoon, night. You won't call it patience anymore. You call it you call it procrastination. You won't call it calm anymore. You call it slowness. Why are you slow? Why are you this? You understand? For the other person, before you got married, you called it goal-oriented person. This guy is a driver. This guy is a leader. This guy, this guy is powerful. I know. That's before marriage. In marriage, the name changes. The action is still the same. That's what many people say. The action is still the same, but the name now changes to anger. Another, it turns to anger, it turns to aggressiveness and all the stuff. When love was catching both of you, you couldn't see it as anger. Everybody was telling you around that this man is impatient, or he's very angry. You said, no, he's a leader, he's a go-getter. You don't know him. Oh, you don't know him. Olodo, we know him more than you. You are blinded in love. We know him more than you. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. It happens to all of us. Sir. But the reason why I'm bringing this into perspective is because with that, you already know that we are in the marriage to learn from each other. I sit down and I ask my wife, what do you expect from me? As intelligent as I think I am, there are some things I have to sit down and say, honey, please talk to me. At a point, I have to tell her, how do people talk slow? She will now tell you, calm down. Always count inside of your mind. Count to 1 to 10 before you respond to people. Me count to 1 to 10. When me, I have the answers in your brain before you even answering me. I can anticipate where you are going to before you even start. But she says, calm down. It's not every time that you always answer people very fast. So I learned that from her. And she also learns the other part from me. So when it now comes to money, we should understand that somebody like me would like to plan and plan a lot. I want to anticipate the future. I want to study what can happen. I simulate things a lot. If in the way you grew up under me in Lagos, where you are in Abuja, where you are here, you will see that by the time we are rounding up a year, I'm already working on the next 12 months. I'm already showing people. If I was telling somebody that, I've planned everything for next year, we know what we'll do, blah, 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 every of our expression. And somebody said, how do you do that thing? I say, I don't know. I just think. And you see, people think that those of us who act like that, we are very intelligent. It's a lie. It's the fear of the future that makes us anticipate the future. It's the fear of the future. For you guys, you are not afraid of the future. You live in the now. So for you, don't worry. God will take care of it. God will manage it. More will come. So everybody must learn. There is a positive part to God will take care of it. There's also a positive part to anticipate the future and plan towards it. There's a negative plan to anticipating the future and planning. Sometimes you don't even give room for the Holy Spirit to help you to plan some things. You don't give room for the Holy Spirit to help you to organize some things. While the other person tells you, look, leave this thing. Holy Spirit can take care sometimes. And that's the truth. I have seen where we're at the edge of our finances, and because of the advice Mama gave us, I saw that somebody stepped in and said, look, we'll take care of this, we'll take care of that. And I'll be shocked, like, oh my God. So all this worry that I was worried about, Baba had a plan underneath. So we must learn to appreciate the fact that we have personalities, and our personalities affect somehow our way of reasoning, our way of communication, especially our way of money. And since money is one of the fundamental problems we have, we must use our personalities to manage this. And that's what I think I will say for that. Maybe other questions will make me.
Hey, I'm getting charged already. Wow. Also, you said so much. You said so much tonight already. Thank you so much for answering that question the way you just did. I'll just move to the third question because of our time. Now, while I told people to send in their questions, I got this particular question from a Facebook friend, and it says, I'm a newly married man. I'm frustrated because my wife has said to me, God told her not to work, but to be at home, supporting me emotionally and spiritually. Honestly, the economic hardship is really getting to me and the family, but my wife has refused to use her hands to generate money, which was not the plan when we had on ground before marriage. What do you advise I do? This is a man,
A newly married
trying to
man is
express
frustrated.
his frustration. Honestly, I feel for him.
Well,
He's really, really frustrated.
it's okay. You know, I think where people miss this thing, we answer the question in the best way that we can. Because sometimes when question comes like this, generic answers might not work. But let's do a foundation.
Especially when there is God said. Especially when there is God said.
Yeah, generic answers most times don't work. I will explain. You see, from what this guy said, he already missed it. And let's talk to ourselves, those of us who are not yet married. You marry for purpose. You don't marry for emotion. You marry for purpose. You don't marry for emotion. Why would a woman tell you clearly during your courtship that, look, I don't want to work? There is nothing wrong with that, because some of us think that when a woman says, I don't want to work, she's lazy. Come on now. You are
married. They are married, though. They are married.
I know.
They are already married.
I know. I'm advising generally. You see, when a woman says, I don't want to work, I want to take care of you and I want to take care of our children. The problem with us is that we see that statement as if she's lazy. But those of you who are married already know that working for your husband at home with the children and everything is work in itself. So when a woman mentions that to you as a married man, the woman was not joking, for crying out loud. If you said that is your wife, that was when you are supposed to make up your mind on the journey. Like, is this the kind of person I really want? Listen to me. For you to have made that decision, if the man is on this call, it's because that's the kind of person you want. The only problem now is that some things, some variables in our life is changing, especially because we are in this season where the economic issues is really telling on every one of us. Before now, I think we were okay with it. Before now. So I advise people that you marry for purpose, not just for emotion. In other words, if you marry for purpose, why not find out what you... Yes, I love that woman, to be honest. The woman knew what she was called to do. I am not going to walk the way you people think work is. I'm going to walk by taking care of my children. I want to bring out the best out of these children. I mean, except they don't have children and the woman is hiding under that, that would be another issue. But if they have children, I can tell you for free that taking care of a family is work in itself. If I had my way, I would tell every man, do something to make sure your wife, who does not work but takes care of the children, collects salary from you. Because what she's doing is actually taking care of your headaches seriously. So to cut the long story short, as long as you have agreed that that is what you wanted, this woman did not hide it from you. She said, I want to take care of you. I want to be here to pray for you. I want to be here to take care of your children. I want you to be the one working while me, I'm working at home. And I think you should do that. However, let's go back to the woman at this point. Woman, we agreed. The man must have loved your idea from the beginning. I tell you, I think he liked the idea. That's why he even married you anyway. But the fact still remains that the situation is changing. In life, we grow. Life grows. We don't anticipate. We don't know what will happen tomorrow. So we must be flexible in our thinking and make sure that we give room for all those loopholes and things that will happen along the line as we carry out our assignment. So my encouragement to this woman is that I don't think the man is selfish. I don't think the man is wicked. I feel the man is just adjusting to the circumstances that we are in right now. And as a woman, we are a family. We should be able to do evaluation of what we said before and see if the factors that made us take that decision in the past is still prevalent at this moment. If the factors have changed, then it is important for you to recognize that you also ought to change because the factors have changed. If the factors are still the same, I believe that the man will still stay with the agreement from the beginning. But because the factors have changed, it is just wisdom for you to know that these factors have changed. Let us sit down and reorganize. If the husband tells you that, look, I just can't manage these bills anymore, woman, let us tidy your CV so that you can get some. Because if the man is down, you are also down, except you want to leave the marriage. If the children are down, you are also down, except you want to leave the marriage. So I just feel strongly that the man must first appreciate that what the wife said she wanted to do was not evil, was beautiful. Mm-hmm. However, times have changed, circumstances have changed. What made us come to that conclusion in the beginning has changed. So, woman, let's sit down and reevaluate again. And this is one of the advice I would like many of us as couples to. We should learn. In his treasure house, what we try to do is every year we encourage people to set goals, new goals. Try to reevaluate what happened in the past and see if we can make some juxtaposing and some, just do some little adjustments if anything has changed, so that we can make adjustments. I can tell you, I waited for my baby. You all know about this. I waited for my baby for 17 years. The way I used to think, to be honest, 17 years into my marriage is different from the way I think now in the last 1.5 years in my marriage. Yes, almost all the things I used to say to my wife before, they are changing somehow. I have never been an advocate of this traveling abroad. Before this Japan came, my wife has always wanted to live abroad. She wanted to school abroad. She loves that, but I was the one that killed it. In my family, they know that I am not an abroad person. I just feel Nigeria will work. But you see, when Stephanie came into my life, the things started changing. My thoughts started changing. Oh, can you imagine? I just want the best for this young lady. I want her to be the best. I mean, I see the little investment we've done in her life in the last 3 years, and I see how powerful it's affecting her positively. But it has changed because the circumstances that made me used to behave the way I used to. I mean, I was okay with my wife. Let's just live our life. All those people will come up. I know you will get there now. Where people come up and say, "Oh, we've not given birth, we don't have children," and the pressure is everywhere. When I got married, and for the first couple of years, my wife didn't give birth, nobody dared talk to my wife anyhow. Within my family, outside my family, around my friends, nobody, because people understood that Pastor Godwin is very, very focused. I am extremely focused. One of my ideologies of this life is not as difficult as we do life to be. It's what you give to life, it gives out to you. In Proverbs, he said, as a mirror, face reflects face. He said, that is how your heart reflects your world. You are the determinant factor of your life because you want to control you. Do you understand? But why am I saying this? Always get to the point where you understand that we are supposed to do an evaluation. Life changes, circumstances changes. Tomorrow, a new president will come into Nigeria. We don't know whether that president will take us to another level of jackpot or will help us to come down with things. We don't know. So, if by May next year things change, everybody reorganizes again. Dollar comes to $1 to $1 naira. We reorganize again. Everybody must learn to reevaluate at every point in time. Those decisions that we made 5, 10 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, to be honest, when factors change, decisions change. That's why I was telling them in church today, never say never. You open your mouth and you use that, I will never. It's because the factors are the same the day you said the first never. If the factors change, whether material-wise, resources-wise, financial-wise, relationship-wise, if the factors change, God, you will have to change. You must change. And interestingly, factors will always change. So wisdom is just hold on and reevaluate periodically, every year, every 6 months, every 2 years. Just reevaluate what's our family goals, what do we believe in right now, what are the visions of our life, because visions will change. Sometimes visions change. So that's the way I see life, and that's the way I expect people like this couple, and I know many other couples are on this call right now, try to appreciate the fact that life happens, and when life happens, both of you are now a team. Sit down and reconsider your strategy for the next phase of where you're going. Thank you.
Powerful. Thank you so much, sir. And I hope the person who asked the question, I hope you've gotten all that Pastor has said. This is really, really balanced. Thank you so much for the way you just dissected that question for us all. Now, the question I'm about to ask now is, I just want Pastor to just go a bit into, the Bible. Of course, I know that you're a sound and a balanced teacher of the word. Now, the Bible says that the man is the provider. Most of us always go to how Adam was providing for Eve in the garden, blah, blah, blah. Now, the question is it biblical to share bills with your spouse? Now, Pastor, I just want us to look at it in this way. So, for example, if somebody was living in Nigeria, you could say, maybe I don't have to share bills. But when you're living in a country like this, where the bills are just high, do you still think that having that same mentality of we can't share bills, the man has to carry all the whole expenses of the house, still has to work? So this question is saying, is it biblical? Because a lot of us just quote the scripture, the man is the provider, so you should pay all the bills. Is it biblical for a man and a woman to share bills?
All right, good. Well, to be honest, the scripture that you guys use when you talk about the man is the provider really wasn't totally saying the man should be a provider. It said he that does not provide for his household, blah, 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 is worse than an infidel. In that context, the Bible wasn't really talking about a gender, if you go back and look at it. But it's okay. Any man that does not have the mindset of being a provider is already a problematic man. You should have that mindset. Yes, you should have that mindset. It doesn't simply mean you would also be the total provider, but it's a mindset. We are leaders. Men were designed to be leaders. So it's a mindset that we must carry, because that's one of the mindset of a productive person. When you share responsibility, you become less productive. Many men who suffer today are suffering because they try to make it look like they're supposed to share bills and everything. I'm not saying you shouldn't share bills, but you see, let me explain it from an angle. You must get to the point where you try to do things as though you are fully responsible. Somebody says, if you want to eat the tree, target the sky. If you want to eat the tree, target the sky. So for me, my simple advice for every man is that take responsibility and say, I want to take all the bills. In your mind, have that mindset. It creates a pathway of productivity in your mind. It creates a pathway of responsibility in your mind. It creates a pathway of intelligent thinking and strategic maneuvering of life in your mind. The minute you give a leeway to the point that, she's here to help me and do everything, blah, 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 you begin to slow down a bit, but let's balance it up also. I always laugh at you women because I'm one person who is not totally happy when anytime things happen in a family or within a relationship, people go ahead and blame women. Especially in this part of the world. I don't know if it happens to you guys very well there, but in this part of the world, it's so consistent. The man falls into adultery or falls into something that is negative. Everybody puts the blame to the woman and everything is foolishness for us. But I'll tell you where it started from. It will continue until you women change the narratives of being responsible also. You see, I said a man should be responsible. I said a man should be on top. I said a man should be the leader. That is what helps an average man to be productive. However, a woman should also take that initiative. What are you saying? The way we created the women force from day one, I don't know how it works, but we have made an average baby girl believe that she's subservient to a man. We have made it's just normal. A woman, you are in the kitchen with your daughter, you don't want your son to be. I can't cook today because my mother protected me from all those things. I started giving my clothes to dry cleaners as early as 17 years old. I don't wash, I can't wash. Handkerchief self is a big deal for me. I've always been giving, and when I married my wife, I told her, me, I don't wash. I hear people say things like, my wife will be the one to wash. Ask my wife. My wife has never washed my clothes for 25 years that we've known. For 20 years that we are married, she has never touched my clothes. We pay for dry cleaners. That is the way I have lived my life. What I'm saying that if my mom helped me when I was young to wash my clothes myself, if my mom helped me when I was young to stand in the kitchen so that I can cook, I don't think it would be negative for me today. Every guy who can do those domestic work today, their families are a bit happier than those of us who can help our wives easily. Now, instead of suffering my wife, what I try to do is to pay for everything. I pay pay for everything. 2 house helps at a point in time, sometimes 3 house helps. I just want her to be comfortable as much as, because me, I will not do this thing. There is no, I wasn't trained to do it. I don't have capacity to do it because mama did not train me when I was young. So I'm telling women, please train your children, your boy child. Let them have this domesticated mindset to life. It doesn't take anything from them. Because eventually, won't they be bachelors before they get married? And eventually, don't get married early. Won't they still do things by themselves? So my encouragement to every one of us is that we must learn to give the girl child some level of honor. And you guys also don't help everything. The women have this funny mindset, and I will term it in this form. You will hear you guys say statements like, "My money is my money. Your money is our money." As
getting there.
As funny as that statement is, foolish. It's foolishness. It's foolishness, and that is what everything a woman is complaining about starts from that kind of mindset. So your money is your money, and the man's money is our money. From there, you have already told yourself that you are subservient, you are dependent, you are lower. You are just told that's what you are saying. So you gave that guy the right to mess you up, especially if you marry an Otondo man. If you marry an Otondo man and you have that mindset, it will mess you up by default because you came into the mindset as a parasite. Come on, women, train your daughters to be powerful women. Which stupid man will beat a woman who is powerful? I was watching one documentary. It was a documentary. You know how they post things on Instagram, and the lady they were having their wedding, this destination kind of wedding. And the man and the lady wanted to talk to the husband when they were doing vows. He said, "I can see you've taken care of me so much. I can see that you've put a lot into this wedding. This is a powerful wedding. I was just thinking of what to bless you with. I don't know what to give you. So I just decided to buy you a yacht." A yacht. But no, come and beat that woman now. As a man, beat that woman for any reason. The lady said, "I just thought about it. What will I buy for you? I don't even have what to buy for you." So maybe he wanted to buy Bentley. Maybe the guy has Bentley. He wanted to buy this Rolls Royce. The guy has Rolls Royce. He bought him a very beautiful holiday yacht. So we'll be going for holidays with it. Now, Chokwe, how do you beat that kind of woman? How do you downplay that kind of woman? How do you cheat on that kind of woman? How do you mess that kind of woman up? It's not possible.
It's not possible.
She is as powerful as you are. Women must learn to give themselves that honor. Stop this whole idea. Like, see, I'm not saying you are not a supporter or a helper to your husband, but don't let him have that perception that you are so lazy, that you cannot bring anything to the table. That where the whole problem starts from. Many women want to leave their marriages, well, because they don't know what the future holds for them. So they are there being abused, and they sit down there. If a woman is powerful emotionally, powerful financially, powerful future thinking wise, trust me, no man will mess with you. No man, they will respect you, they will honor you, and everybody will grow together. That's the way I see such thinking, to be honest. That's the way I see such thinking. So we might not need to share the bills, but if there is any need for the lady to assist me, I know that she can assist me. I know that she has power enough to assist me. I know. So with that one, I am secured in that relationship. And the woman is also very secure because she knows that I am not just here as a non-entity. I am here as a true support system for this man. If anything goes wrong, I will settle it for him. However, the man must take that responsibility, because when you think like that, excuse me, man, when you think like that, you think productively. When you think like that, wealth begins to gravitate towards you, because we are always attracted to our highest predominant thoughts. So I tell men, think responsibly, think sacrificially, think as if you are the one that owe everybody everything. The minute you enter into that mode, you begin to attract the material equivalent of that thought pattern. But every time you say, "Oh, bring your money," you would be attracting that kind of subservient attitude, beggarly attitude around the space. So that's my encouragement. The man must stand in his position. A woman must also be there to say, "I'm not a non-entity. If my husband needs anything, I will be able to support at every point in time.
Wow. So it means everybody bringing in their 100% into the marriage. Fantastic. Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pastor, for that. I think we have just less than 10 minutes to the end of the show. So and we have quite a lot of questions here on ground. So I'll just go through some very important questions that I got while the program was being prepared for. So the next question says that this is from a woman. The woman is asking this question. And then I know that, Pastor, because you teach us every time that the best time to plan for our, for the next year or to set our goal is now, not waiting till when you enter into the new year before you start planning. Okay. So this woman is saying, my husband and I have a business that we plan to start next year. Okay. But the challenge is capital, the startup money. So how can we source for funds in this tough time, especially in the season where everyone is faced with similar challenge? How do we search or get funds to start up this business we have in plan?
Wow. It was breaking. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you, sir. I can hear you.
I think it was breaking, but I think I heard about something about capital, how to raise capital. I think that's what I heard.
Yes, sir.
Let's take it from this point. You see, capital has never been a problem. And I want everybody to listen to this very carefully. Capital has never been a problem in life. Resources, finances have never been a problem in life. God, I hope I'm monitoring it, and I see that it's not. I think the network is a bit bad. I don't know why, but if you can hear me, I can continue.
Yes,
if you can hear me, I can continue. Yes. But I think I'm having problems with the network. Is just messing up right now. But can I go ahead?
Yes, sir. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. So I've always said to people that money is not your problem. Money has never been a problem on this earth. The problem we have is that how do we attract the money that we need? How do we attract the money that
Wow, I think there's a network problem. Okay, it's back.
Are we back now?
Yes, you're back. Yes.
Okay, good. So, money is not our problem. Our problem is how to attract the money, because the money you need right now in your life is in somebody else's hand as we speak. The money you need right now is in somebody else's hand that you speak. What you call project money is seed money in somebody's hands. What you call business money is drinking money in somebody else's hand. And sometimes those people are within your circle. They are within your circle. The problem many of us have is that we don't have the magnetic power to attract money. Everybody has money.
Magnetic power.
Just that the money is not in your own hand right now, but the money is available right now. That is the way it works. Everybody who has money, who is rich around you, your family, your brothers, your sisters, your friends, your church members, your mosque members, whatever, everybody within your space, there is one person, 2 people, 10 people that have the money you are looking for right now. This is the way rich people behave. When a rich person has money, he uses some for his daily investments or strategies or dealings or food or whatever. The remaining money everybody has, we are wise enough to go and keep it in a safe place. That's what we do. We go and keep that money in a safe place. Now, if you become a safe place, we will give you that money. That's what you should understand. Everybody looking for where to put their excess cash, excess money. Now, guess what? What now happens is that because they cannot find you as a safe place, they cannot find anywhere they take you to the safest place that the world has organized as a system for us. And that place is called the bank. We take you to the bank. No bank comes into your house and starts saying, give me your money, give me. No bank says that. What does bank? Banks just position themselves and call themselves, we are safe. It's an ideology that we have all grown to understand. Bank, even from primary school, we've been taught that bank is a place where we keep money. So we already know that bank is a safe place. So what we do is that when we have excess money, peradventure my daily expenses is just 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 naira, and I have 1 million naira, 2 million naira. After I have spent all my daily expenses, even for a week, I will not put the others under my bed, even though some people do that, but majority of people will not do that. They will find out, look, this 900,000 that is left, this 2 million that is left, this 500 million that is left, this 1 billion that is left, let me take it to a safe place. And they take it to the bank and keep it to the bank there. It's so annoying for them. You don't know that it's annoying for all of us that have money in the bank. Some of us have money in the bank, and the bank is just giving us 6% in a year, 3% in a year, 5% in a year. And who does that? That's useless money. But you see, we don't care if it's useless money at a point. At least we will get our money back. That's what the basic concern for some people. Like, okay, it is 5% in a year. It's okay. I give them 1 million. I'll get 1,050,000 naira. It's okay. You see, but it's okay because the money is safe. It's not okay because it's a good investment. So what do people do? People now unconsciously begin to strategically look for anybody who can be of help to become like a bank. The minute you have the mindset of a bank, you become an attractive person to source of wealth. The way banks sit down in their space and everybody's taking their money to the banks, you can also become a mobile bank. So you need to go and find out what did the
mobile bank.
Yes, what did the bank develop to attract such wealth? What did the bank develop to attract such wealth from the populace? There are some banks that have as much as 1 million customers. What did they do? Simple, they provided a safe place. So what is it? So I have this acronym called you must be bankable for you to attract that excess money. Because the truth is, if you can be bankable, if you can compete with the bank's character, and after competing with the bank's character, you are able to tell the person, don't take your money to the bank, they'll give you only 5% in a year. We will give you 20% in a year, or we'll give you 50% in a year, or we'll give you 100% in a year. Except I am a fool. I would rather give you that will give me 50% in a year than give the bank that will give me 5% in a year. I mean, it's just logical. But you see, why don't we all do that? It's because the bank might be giving us small percentage, but they develop solid character, something powerful that makes them compete with all of us. So what they have, many human beings don't have. What many human beings promise to give, banks don't give. Many human beings come up and say, we will give you 50%. Bank says we'll give you 5%. You are tempted to go and give the human being. That's how MMM, all those MMM people, that's how they collect money from you. They become safe havens. Now I put the acronym for bank, B-A-N-K. If you become bankable, people will give you money. Number one, B is for believable. Are you trustworthy? We need to develop our trust. I was talking to my men leader today. I was talking to some of my men leader, you know them, and we're talking about how many of our young people need to be encouraged, how we're supposed to start doing blah, blah, blah. One of the men's leaders said, Pastor, upon all the teachings that you give here, some of them are very untrustworthy. Very untrustworthy. So some of them, Pastor, not that we don't want to help people, but some of them are too corny. People don't understand that when you live that life of corniness, you are eating your future. You are destroying your future. They are going to gossip you. Today I had a meeting with 3 of them. We are standing and we are just discussing. And we are talking. We are naming 1 or 2 people who you can't imagine. Sometimes many of us don't know. Listen, I tell people, you are the last person that knows about your promotion or your demotion. The day you got your report card, you have been discussed. The day you got your report card, you have been discussed. People have mentioned things about you. So banks are believable. Banks are trustworthy. trustworthy. That's why we take the money from them. Because you've never gone to an ATM and you put your ATM machine and the bank begin, the lady in the ATM, the voice in the ATM begin to cry. Hey, we can't give it today because it's as if our bank don't get money. Oh, sorry. You've never, the only reason you will never take money from the ATM is because they've not filled in cash. If they filled in cash and you have your money there, at the shortest possible notice, when you get there, say, give me 10,000 out of the 1 million I gave you. They will give you instantly. They will not complain. They will not shout at you. In fact, one of the ways to know that a bank is in trouble is when you begin to go to that bank and the bank begins to tell you the things that human beings say. That bank is in trouble. Because it was not designed for banks to give excuses. The way banks were designed, they were supposed to they are so trustworthy that every time you walk up to them and say, I need that money that I gave you last week, they will even argue. They'll say, you fill in the form. Fill in the form. That's what they say. So if you are a human being and you want people to bring money to you and you want to attract capital, be believable. Develop your trust capital. That is why in developed countries it is called social capital. It's a social capital. It's a trusting, and trust is developed over time. Over time, you are able to, when you say yes, it's yes. People, you look at Nigerians who must learn to always be trustworthy. It will help you in the future. I mean, as I sit down here, I tell you, I can make 1 or 2 phone calls. All I need is my ideas. All I need is an idea. If the idea has not come, I cannot make those phone calls. But if the idea comes now that requires some millions, I know 1, 2, 3 people in my network that I can call on the spot, and they will give us that money. They will give me that money. Why? Because I have become a believable person to that person. I have become a trustworthy person. Sometimes I don't even want to have idea. Young people walk up to me and say, Pastor, because you teach entrepreneurship, we are sure that you can help us with this. It happened not too long ago. Somebody walked up to me and said, oh, Pastor, this is my idea. And I said, no worry, let me pray about it. After I finished praying, I went and I met someone of my daughters, and I said, look, this person needs this so millions, some large millions. And the person said, okay, Pastor, if you are the one that is bringing the person. Hearing me. Oh my God. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're back.
Wow. I want to drop this. When you can hear me, let me know. Can you hear me now?
Wow. Okay. You're back now.
Am I back now?
Yes, you are.
Am I back? Oh my God.
Yes, you are. You're back.
Oh, beautiful. So you see, the trust that the person had for me as the person's pastor, business partner, he translated that trust to that young person I brought. So I don't know this person, but because I know pastor, so I will give this person this money because of pastor. I will give this person because of pastor. And stuff like that. And that's how the person collected the money and went. What did that person do? The person was trustworthy to me, and I transferred my trust equity, part of my trust equity, and transferred it to that young boy. So the person that was giving that person wasn't giving the boy money, he was giving me money. But however, was giving the boy true. Do you understand how it works? So develop your trust equity, your trust capital. When you say yes, let it be yes. When you say no, let it be no. It might not pay you today, but I'm telling you, people are watching you. People are watching you. A young girl met my wife and told my wife, oh, Mama, I need this to start my business and everything. And because Mama has watched this lady for almost 3 years in his treasure house, Mama has seen her, giving her some clothes to sew and everything. All of a sudden, Mama said, Pastor, what do you think? Can you find a way to raise this money for this person? I said, well, me, I don't have the money right now, but maybe let me make 1 call. I did 1 call, did 2 calls. I said, look, the person said, bring the money, bring the thing. The same thing happened again. We sent to that person, called the lady, and transferred the money to that lady. This thing happened in 24 hours. So there is no money problem anywhere. You have believable problem. You have trustworthy problem. When you develop your trustworthy, you become a money magnet. Number 2 is accountability. Accountability. Bank, B for believable, pay for accountability, or what you call responsibility, your ability to be answerable. You must develop that ability to be answerable for your action, good or bad. Forget whether it is good or bad. We all make mistakes. We are not always bad. But the day you fall into the bad part of life, be able to beat your chest and say, I made a mistake, sir, and I will take the punishment for my mistake. You don't know how people respect people who take responsibility for their shortcomings. When you take responsibility for your shortcomings, because you know why people respect people who take responsibility for their shortcomings? Because every one of us have shortcomings. Everybody has shortcomings. So when we fail, people know you were. Look, you were. If I stay around you too much and you don't fail, I suspect you. I suspect you are either a good pretender, or you are a robot. You are a mechanical robot. Not connecting. So what we don't like as human beings is that we now see that you are failing. We now see that you made mistake. We now see that you entered into error and you are trying to cover it. Is that not scriptural? He that covereth his sin shall not prosper. Is that not scriptural? When God said he that covers his sin, doesn't he know that you are going to sin? Doesn't he know that you are going to fail? So let's forget all this deception. What we want is people who responsibility, people who will be accountable for their actions and say, I mean, we give you clothes as a tailor. You cannot meet up. Please be responsible. Before we call you for that clothes, you call us. You call us and say, never took light, sir, but give me 24 hours. I will remedy this thing. Just do it. Let that be a culture. People are watching you. Trust me that guy, even when he fails, he will take responsibility and find a way to remedy it. And people don't understand. That is what banks do. Banks are accountable. Every year they do their yearly reports. They give the stakeholders information. When you do those things, can you give stakeholders information? Can you give yearly reports? Can you be responsible? Not the one that we are calling you. The day you were begging us for the money, you were begging us. I've seen, hey, Jesus, as a pastor. You know, my challenge is that apart from being a pastor, I'm also an enterprise coach. So I deal with all sorts of human beings, all sorts of human beings. I mean, I have seen Christians will make heaven, but the kind of thief will be thief to make heaven with plenty. Oh my God, my God. So you now sit down and you now call the person. You now call when he was trying to get the money from you, he don't let you hear what. But the money now is bad. Based on the timeline that he gave you, all of a sudden you are the one now looking for him, looking for her. They won't call you. How can you behave like that and you think you will ever be wealthy? You can't be wealthy. Money is not difficult. Money is a character. Money is look, Shokwe, there are people, yes, there's money in your hand right now that will be a lifesaver for somebody in Nigeria. But you just wish that person can be bankable. You just wish that person can be bankable, can be trustworthy, and can be accountable. So that when you send that 1,000 pounds, 5,000 pounds to the person, and the person gives you, look, I'm going to pay you 50% after 1 year, and the person stays with what I tell you, when the person finishes that 5,000 pounds, if the person asks you for 1 million pounds and you have it, you will still give. This life is not that difficult. That's what makes development countries powerful. They stick to their words.
Sir.
We don't stick to our word, so there is no way. Even we as pastors, you tell us of this sometimes, we feel corner. I mean, it just weakens people's mind. So you see, from the little I've said now, you notice that money is not our problem. Can't you see that money is not our problem?
Yes.
The money you need is somebody's drinking table. Nightclubs, some people buy champagne for that money you want for a project. That 1 million naira you have been praying for is somebody's champagne bottle. In one Friday, you will buy like 3 of it or 4. And him and his friends would finish it. 4 million has gone, and you are there crying. And that person can be your uncle, can be your friend's uncle, can be your brother. But he's not giving you because he cannot see believability, he cannot see accountability. The next one is negotiable.
Accountability.
Negotiable simply means your capacity to communicate your ideas or your thoughts. It's one thing to have good thoughts. It's one thing to have good ideas. It's one thing to have productive ideas. It's a completely different thing to sell it through your words. It's a completely different thing to sell it through your words. Many of us have failed in getting into the rich class of life because all our ideas die inside of us. We don't have the power to communicate. So negotiable is powerful. Be able to communicate your thoughts. Be able to tell people, listen, I've seen bad bad products sold by good marketers. I mean, all of us know that. It happens a lot. Selling land everywhere. Some people will sell you land on water, land on water, but the way they confuse you be like, wow, are you sure I will get this return? All this, anything you call scam today is based on communication. Anybody that succeeds in scamming you is a good orator. He's a good orator, beautiful orator. So we have people who don't want to scam that cannot talk. You can't talk. We say sit down and defend your project, and you are there doing The minute the M you say, all this you say is reducing points. Is reducing points in front of your investor. Because in an average person thinks about the word like somebody who is not thoughtful. So if you are not thoughtful, why are you sitting in front of me? If you are not, so you need to go and learn how to be a good public speaker, a good presenter, a good talker. And you see, let me tell you how it works. For you to be a good public speaker, a good talker, a good presenter, you must own your, what they call it, the knowledge of what you are doing. Knowing what you are doing is a strength. When you know what you are doing, communicating it will be secondary at the end of the day. Do you understand? So we must learn to be able to communicate. That's why banks do adverts everywhere. They have people going out, marketers. If you see when they employ marketers, when they come to you, you will release that money. So you must learn that too. When I tell you, defend your project, and you come, the first thing you want to do, let me give somebody a secret here. When people tell you defend your project, the first thing you must give a potential investor. The first thing you must give a potential investor is what is in it for him. Never go to a discussion and start saying, oh, I have this idea. I will turn a human being to monkey. I will do this. No. That's not what the person wants to do. That will come up later. The first thing you want to do is what is for that person. The minute people hear what is in it for them, their antennas go up. Sir, this business I am running right now is a business that provides so and so services. In every month, we make so amount. And from that amount that we make, after all, we've paid all our expenses, we are ready to part with 50% of that amount to you, who is going to invest. The minute the person is able to translate those things into figures, and the figure looks enticing, that is where discussion starts from. That is where discussion starts from.
Yeah.
You must entice that person. You must make that person be interested. And nobody's interested with your ideas. They are interested in what is in it. And most times, what is in it for an average person is monetary. It's economics. It's economics. You must know your numbers. You must know your numbers. Come on now. I have a 5 million naira somewhere. I have a 10 million naira somewhere. And you walk up to me and the first thing you want to do is that, Pastor, I'm opening a dry cleaning company. I'm opening a water bottle company. Blah, 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 blah. I've done all my research and everything. Every month we'll be making about 1 million naira. Myself and my directors and my team, we are ready to part with 500,000 for anybody that wants to buy into us and give us the money. Listen to me. Even if I will not buy that idea eventually, that 500,000 will make me have attention first. I will now sit down and say, talk to me. It is that 500,000 that you must always start your communication with. That money that will be good to that person is what you should start with. Everybody that has been scammed, it is that thing that makes them scam us. Go back and check it. What is in it for me is the first thing. But you see, when you put some people down to say, talk to me about your business, you'll now be saying ideas. Oh, what to do? Don't worry, we will get there. If it's money you are looking for, let the person know what he will get. If the person knows, he will be the one telling you, okay, tell me more. Where's the market? Do you have a market? Do you have an effective market? Do you have people that will buy this unit? How many units will you sell? Blah, blah, blah. The person will begin to ask you, who is your banker? Who are the people on your board? Those are questions that will come up naturally if you show the person where the money is.
Bankable.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So that's negotiable. Then the last one is knowledgeable. I've spoken about that briefly, but K is for knowledgeable, which means expertise. You must own your game. You must own your thought. You can't come and present to somebody on a thing that you can. So the world understood why he told us to go to school for 4 years. In their mind, they know that by the time you do school for 4 years, you'll be a bachelor in that thing. Bachelor simply means I am just about to get married. Think that bachelor is just a word? No, they're telling you that you are ready to get married to the world. That's what bachelor means. You are ready to get married to the world. By the time you do another 1 year extra or 1.5 years extra, they say you are now married. You are now a master of the world. Then after that, you are now a PhD holder of the world. You need to own your game. You need to own it. When you're talking to people, just make sure you know the indices that makes for that thing to come alive. Just make sure you do a lot of research. Never go to a place to defend a project when you are not prepared. Tell them that you are coming. Tell them you will come. Never go there, because you will never have a second time to give a good first impression. You will never have that second opportunity to give a good first impression. Sir. So if you are not prepared to be knowledgeable, you are not prepared to communicate effectively, please slow down and tell them, sir, can you give me 1 week? I'm trying to put my thoughts together, blah, 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 blah. There are some vital indices that I'm trying to get. Even those words there will be catching the investor. This guy knows what he's doing. Oh, this guy is smart. Oh, this guy is smart. Get those indices very well. So that when you now come, the person asks you any question. Open to page 56. In that place, you will see that we already have a market in Alagbado. We have another market in Abulegba. We have another market in Yaya. Blah, blah, blah. In those markets, we have this. When you talk like that, and they can verify, and they can understand that you are not lying, forget it. By the time you are true, so tell them that money is not any man's problem. Money has never been anybody's problem on the surface of the earth. What has been your problem is that you are not bankable. You are not believable. You are not accountable. You are not knowledgeable, and you are not communicable or negotiable. The minute you settle these four, trust me, the money you need in somebody else's hand will come to you.
Hey, Pastor, I'm shaking. This is deep. Thank you so much, sir. Pastor, do you know what you just shared is worth a lot of thousands? People pay for what you've just shared. No, this is free. You're giving us. Thank you so much, sir. In fact, there are a lot of questions here, but I'm trying to round up. You know, Kasi Pastor is really, really loaded. No. This is awesome. Thank you so much for this mind-blowing answers. I'll just wrap up with just one, this very last question, sir. Please, I promised 1 hour, but I think we're 17 minutes late to the time. So please, sir, just one more. The Bible says in Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 6, I'll just try to summarize that verse. It says, you'll lend to nations, you will not borrow. And, you know, some of us have grown up with this mindset that as a believer, it is a sin to borrow. It is not scriptural to borrow. We only lend to others, we don't borrow. So, sir, can you shed more light on this? As a believer, can I borrow? Since the Bible has said you should not borrow, you should only lend to nations.
There's no discussion in that. Every human being was designed to borrow. You must borrow. You have to borrow. If you don't borrow, you are not a human being.
Hey, network, behave in Jesus' name. We need to hear this. Okay, you're back, sir.
Are we back?
Yes.
Are we back?
You're back, sir. You're back.
Are we back? 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 Are we back?
Yes, sir, you're back. You're back. You're back.
Wow.
You're back. You're back.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. They don't want me to download this one. Okay, let me say it clearly. I don't know where you got that information from. I don't know. I've never heard that thing before. But life is about circles of influence. I know what you are saying is true. It's possible. If you don't borrow, you are in trouble. Life. Look, let me tell you, one of the strongest indices of a developed country is credit system. What makes that country that you are more appreciable than the country that we are is the capacity for credit.
Yes.
The truth is, it is not the borrowing that is the issue. It is the purpose of the borrowing that is always Listen to me. Listen very carefully. Why shouldn't you borrow? One of the proof that you are a human being that carries vision is your capacity to attract extra money into your life. Part of this extra money is borrowed money. This is the way it works for me. The minute you stop, when your vision, which makes you a human being, that's what really makes you a human being, a leader, a productive person. Your vision must always be bigger than your presence or your resources. Your vision must always be bigger than your resources. That is what we call rich people. A rich person is that person whose vision is always bigger than his resources. So with that, he has capacity to attract extra resource from every other place to push that big vision to the next level. A poor person is the person that his resources is more than his vision. That's a poor person. When your resources are more than your vision, it's just a matter of time. You will spend those resources on every other person apart from your vision. So it is what you use your borrowed money for that we should be discussing, not whether you should borrow money. You can never be able to fund your ideas. If you are able to fund your own ideas, you are a lazy person, you are incompetent person, you are not a progressive person. If you can fund your ideas, it's still kindergarten. That assignment is small. Assignments are supposed to be bigger than you. Assignments are supposed to be bigger than you. Purpose is supposed to be bigger than you. That is why everybody in the Bible that God gave purpose, that God gave assignments, go and check them out, from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob to David to Elisha. Every one of them, you will see one tendency in them: they ran away. They ran away. They were like, no, God, why will you pick me? Jeremiah said, I'm a child. Gideon said he ran into the bag to go and hide. David said, what is this? Abraham said, what is this? Everybody's vision should intimidate the person. If your vision is not intimidating you, it's not a vision. Your vision should scare you when you see it. That is why it is called assignment. Another word for assignment is homework. Homework.
Yes,
that's what assignment means. Listen to me and listen very carefully. When we were in school, remember, when you are shopper, you are a teacher, so you understand this very well.
Yes,
when you are teaching the people, your students, you will do examples. Shopper, you taught for almost 10 years, I believe. When you are doing examples, it's the same example you used last year that you used 2 years ago. Some of those examples you've been using then, you are now a master in your examples. You don't even need to look at when you are doing this example. You just be writing and writing. Because some of the children you started that example with, they are all in university now. And you are giving them the same example. Look at the problem. When you now finish your example, you want to give them assignments. You will now bring something that can confuse a human being and give it to them. What is the implication? Examples are supposed to be your friend. Assignments are supposed to be bigger than you. If your assignment is not bigger than you, it's not an assignment, it's an example. If your assignment is not bigger than you, it's not an assignment, it's an example. And we don't give marks, for example. We don't give credit, for example. We give credits for assignments. We give marks for assignment. So if you run away from vision, you are actually losing credits of life. So mind money to implement your vision. Go out there and borrow money to implement your vision. You only don't borrow to eat. You borrow to invest. You borrow to energize your vision. So that as your vision begins to grow, you pay. Look, we are talking about borrow. The most deficit country, or what will I put it now? The most indebted country in the world is the richest country in the world. If you don't know today, let me tell you. America is the most indebted. They have borrowed everything in this world. But you know why they are powerful? Because all the debts that you have, if they sell their infrastructure, if they sell the things that they have, they will deal with their debt like this, because they borrowed to create an enabling environment that will help their vision expand. They borrowed.
Wow. Network issues.
One-tenth, 100th of what they have, they will pay all their debts. So that is the way debt works. You borrow to fund your vision, so that your vision can bring out the resource of repayment. You don't borrow. The reason why people like we borrow to eat, we borrow to do nonsense. That is why I agree with the people that say don't borrow when it comes to that. But in life, we are supposed to live on credit. Credit. Yes, your resources per time will not be able to match your ideas. Your resources per time can never match. But make sure that you've done your underground work to know that where you are putting that money will bring back that thing. Bring it in 100-fold so that you can pay back what you borrowed. I think with that, people will understand.
Wow, I think, Pastor, you've done so much tonight. In fact, you've blessed me. I am personally blessed. I don't know about you people watching. Please just type in something. Let me know. Let Pastor know if you have been blessed. I have been blessed. Honestly, thank you so much for this wisdom. This is wisdom that you have shared. You know, you just said something really, really important. Don't borrow for rubbish. Don't borrow for nonsense. Not to buy clothes, not to buy food. Borrow to fulfill your vision, to fulfill your purpose, to run your assignment. Hey, this is, I think this is it for me. Honestly, this is it. Because, you know, Pastor, we grew up with this mentality of thou shalt not borrow, thou shalt not borrow. And then I got to a country where people, in fact, you boost your account by borrowing. I'm like, how do I go about this? So the limiting belief was so much for me. Thank you so much for this liberating knowledge. I really, in fact, we celebrate you this evening. Thank you so much, sir. So what final words, sir, do you have for singles, for married, who are struggling financially, who are having problems, especially with the economy right now? What final word do you have for them?
Okay, my final word, guys, is be resourceful. Just be resourceful, because it will not get better. It has never gotten better. Sometimes people call pastors, say this pastor self a prophet of doom. No, it's just being realistic and it's scriptural. The Bible says darkness will cover the earth, gross darkness the people, but the Lord's glory will come upon you. You understand? In other words, things will almost always get worse. But in things getting bad, that's when actually things are getting better. We don't know how to juxtapose those things. Things will never get better. As long as this earth remains, things will get worse from the external. Just make sure from your own internal, the light is coming out. The light is coming out. Warren Buffett said something. Warren Buffett said, most of the times that he created much wealth were in times of recession. Seasons like this, that man is almost 100 years old. He said he has seen at least 5 recessions in his lifetime. And all those times, he saw his capacity to make more money. So that's why we call it currency. Currency moves, money moves from people who are wasters to people who are suppliers of solutions. So whether you like it or yes, things will not get this better. You know, I was telling them in church last week. I said we are all laughing and saying, "Hey, Buhari has killed us. Oh, this person has killed us. Oh, that." They will still kill you. Whether you choose obedient next year or you choose Buhari, what's his name, Tinubu.
For this table, you want to break.
Yes, the chances is that when you choose any of them, your problem is still like they are your solution. They can't be your solution. Because 40 years ago this year, Nigeria entered into austerity measures, entered into many things. I mean, I was asking them, I said, for those of us who are 40 years and above, they will understand what I just wanted to say. In the early 80s, when SAPA started. Do you remember, every one of you here on this call that is above 40 or thereabout, do you remember one advert in the mid-80s? The man is dead now. His name was called Andrew. Andrew was his name. It was a SAPA or Japa. It was a Japa. Japa started since Andrew not check out. It was a song. Andrew said he was tired of Nigeria in 1986 or 1985. That was the advert in this country. The SAPA was so hard. It's not because internet makes it now look as if everybody's doing it. Those days, everybody was doing it, but because the only people you knew were people on your street, people in your local community. Now you know everybody. Everybody. It was 1970 that we enjoyed last. By 1980, we have been jacked by. They told Andrew not to check out. Andrew said he wants to check out. We still talk about Andrew today. I forgot the man's name. He's dead now. He's one of those Hollywood actors. He has been jacked by. I know some of you forgot those things. And you think you're in the worst situation. Do you remember in 1980s, we were using salt to wash our teeth? I was asking them in church. I said, how many of you use salt? Even with all this suffering that is happening, how many of you are using salt to wash your teeth? Nobody raised his hand. Nobody. How many of you are using charcoal? Nobody raised his hand. I'm telling you, in 1980, many of us use salt. I used salt for more than 1 year. Do you understand? So this suffering has always been there, but you multi-millionaires. They were good. There were people who were traveling first class Nigerian Airways. Then it's the same thing that is happening now. You see that position that I was in 1980? I have changed. I'm no more there. But there are people who are there now. There are people who are there in that position now, who are suffering right now with the comparison. I know that somewhere along the line will say, oh, it's a bit different. It's not totally different. I agree with people who say, Pastor, it's a bit different. But look, that is where your problem. You give excuse for failure. Change your company. If you are change your company. There were companies in 1980 that my father did not enter. That was why we were using salt to brush our teeth. But I know many people who were building houses, doing everything there. Change your company so that this year you will be the company where the things that are happening. And how do you do that? Start by providing services and goods to a large number of people. Make sure you are not that person that everybody dumps their liability on. Make sure you are not that person. Just make sure there is something in your hand that God can multiply. Make sure you are plating air. Make sure you are selling pure water. Make sure you are doing recharge card. Make sure you are doing something, because there is no business that does not have a multi-millionaire attached to it, including vegetable sellers.
Yes, sir.
Just make sure you are doing something. You know why? Because when you are doing something, if somebody charges you extra for acquiring somebody else's service, by the time somebody comes to take your own service, you will put the liability that other person gave you on your goods, and you will sell it to the next person. So you will always transfer. We all transfer our excess liability to anybody who is seeking our help or seeking our services. So the poor person becomes that person who does not have any tangible expression of goods and services to exchange in the marketplace as value, so that when all of us take on our liabilities and transpose it, we all dump it on the last person who looks at himself, and the only thing he's doing is consuming. He has nothing to supply to his community. He has nothing to supply to his environment. He's not doing anything. The secret is, the minute you are doing something, no matter how small, just start doing something. Start selling something. Start giving services. Start doing something, so that the minute the people transfer their liabilities to you, the minute you also want to give out your own service or your product, put the extra that those people put on you, put it on your own and give it out. So at that point, everybody's transferring. And you know what happens? All transfer it to the person that is not producing anything. That person is the person that is called a poor man. A poor man is not a man who does not have. A poor man is the man who appears in the market space and has nothing of value for exchange. It means you don't have anything for value for exchange. You don't know how to translate your liability to the next person. You don't know how to transfer it to the next person. You will be the one carrying all our burdens. You will be the one carrying it because you don't have a service, you don't have a product, you don't have a good that you are moving to the next person where you could have added the extra that you collected to somebody too. With that, we are safe. That's the only way you can escape this Sakpaism syndrome. God bless you.
Wow. 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 This is too much. Thank you, sir. Please, if you are still on this call, can you please type in something? Thank you, Pastor. Thank you. This is just so much. I need to just replay. When I finish now, I'm going to really sit down and replay again. These are G points. Pastor, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Can we all say thank you? If you're still on this call, can we all say thank you, sir? Thank you so much, Pastor. I like you. I'll just want to take you out of the call now so that you can go and relax. Thank you. People are saying thank you. Oh, wow. Thank you so much, sir. We celebrate you. Thank you.
I appreciate you guys. God bless you.
Thank you,
sir. Send my love to Femi.
All right, sir. Right. Thank you, sir. Wow, guys. Have you been blessed? I have been blessed. I have been blessed. Thank you, Buki. Thank you, Folake. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Chiaka, for being on the call. I know that we have all been blessed. Please do well by sharing with your friends. You might be saving a life. You might be saving a marriage. You might be helping somebody in this season. Please share. Tag your friends to come listen again. If you're catching the replay, please type in something and share with your friends. I know this season is a tough one for all of us, but from what we have heard tonight, we are going to be doing better in our financial lives. We're going to be doing better in our marriages. Money will no longer be a problem to our marriages, to our lives, in the name of Jesus. Thank you, Lafunki. Thank you, Buki. Thank you, everyone, for being on the call with me tonight, even though we really, went way ahead of the time. Thank you so much. I'm going to end the broadcast. If you're catching the replay, drop your questions, drop a comment, and let's hear from you. Bye.